You said that you didn't deserve our sub if you went back to Shiloh, but do you still feel the same? They say they won't upsub me because they love me. If you want to upsub me, you can. I feel like I don't want to say I deserve subscriptions. If you feel I deserve a subscription, then subscribe to me. When you did the Hobo Steve fridge video, how come your food drinks were all moldy? Because I left my house, remember? I kept saying, like Shiloh was trying to guilt trip me at the time. She was saying, you left me in a house with nothing in it or whatever. You just left me, when she had to go get a psych eval because of the suicide thing. She's like, you just left me. I'm like, dude, I left you with electricity. I left you with a house full of food. I left you with running water and heat and everything. Well, that's the proof. That's why the fridge was all moldy, because that's how much food was in that fridge that I left for Shiloh. Once again, I proved myself honest. I left her food. I left her electricity and everything. The reason electricity was turned off is because I deactivated it after she left. Will the War Room ever come back to the forum soon? Oh, wow, Tina. Dude, you are ancient. Somebody remembers the War Room? There used to be, oh my god, I didn't remember that. On these really old forums, we had this thing called the War Room, where we would just like fight each other like crazy. Like people would go in there and they'd just scream at each other and be angry and stuff. Do you guys want that on the forums? Where there's this one area where everyone can be bullies to each other and just rah! That's an interesting idea. Bring it up on the contact page or something if you like. I think you deserve to speak at VidCon as a successful YouTuber, but are you apologetic at throwing Shane under the bus? If Shane is mad at me, he can talk to me. But the fact is that Shane said a bunch of stuff at VidCon that parents would not consider to be appropriate for their children. A lot of parents wouldn't. I didn't throw him under the bus. I just told it how it is. Okay? I used him as an example of someone who's way more offensive than I am in person. You know? I'm not trying to say Shane shouldn't be there. Shane should be there. Shane has so many fans. So many people love him. It's just the point is that for me to not have a voice because of my opinions is ridiculous, considering what is said and what is acceptable at VidCon. If that's all acceptable, then I should be there too. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not acceptable. I'm just saying. Where do you stand on extreme age gaps? If it's legal, okay. If it's legal in the U.S., it's whatever. I'm not going to judge. I judged before and I was just wrong. Are you the reason for your ex-wife's post-traumatic stress disorder? I didn't know she had PTSD. PTSD from what? PTSD from what? That's the thing. Seer was there the whole last month. Seer, my friend. Her friend, actually, too. Seer was there the whole... He's just messing around. Seer was there the whole last month. So, if I was abusive, wouldn't he see it at some point? You know? I admit I neglected her the last month. I really neglected her. And that's because I was doubting our relationship. And for the whole 4 or 5 months towards the end of the marriage, I was threatening divorce repeatedly. And I was threatening it. One of the biggest issues was that she was trying to claim my stuff. You know, she was trying to say that my stuff was hers when I said we already originally established. Like, we established before the relationship was ever started. She and I had an agreement. I understand in marriage, half and half, okay? That's the agreement that marriage is. Yet, if you have a separate agreement with them, when you get together, how is it that I don't deserve to say this is wrong? You know, when we had an original agreement. Yes, there's the law agreement, but wouldn't you agree that the stronger agreement is the verbal contract or the contract that you make between the two of you as person to person? You say, this is what's going to happen. Okay, so we made a person-to-person agreement that long before we ever divorced, that she was just a volunteer on my videos, and that I was the person who was, you know, editing all the videos. Obviously, I was editing a crap load, like 18 hours at in many cases, like Banana Song. I think that took me like 18 hours to make. But she didn't write the music. She didn't write the script. She didn't come up with barely any ideas. If she did come up with ideas, she didn't do much of anything in the videos other than be an actor, and quit halfway through a lot of recordings because she has always been a depressed person. She's always been a depressed person. She's always suffered from depression. dude. Like, before I was even with her, she was a very depressed, antisocial person. And the only reason I was, or one of the main reasons I went for her in the first place is because she was so weird. Like, she would literally just, she like outcast herself. Like, we would go to family get-togethers, and this is how she does it. Like, when I go to family get-togethers with Shiloh was like, oh, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Hey, how's everyone? This is what my ex-wife would do. She would go to them, and she would just, like, sit in a corner and stare. And I was like, wow, why can't you be normal? In the sense that, why can't you talk to people? Like, I know there's a lot of shy people watching this, and it's whatever, but, like, when you are with someone, you know, when you're married to someone or whatever, and you're brought to their family, and this is like the 4th time you've seen their family, you gotta start getting along with them. You gotta start talking to them. You can't just sit in a corner, because that makes you a socially awkward person. It makes everyone feel a lot less comfortable. And that's just the kind of person my ex-wife is. She's a very awkward person as far as, you know, when it comes to her attitude and how she carries herself, as far as, you know, her mood. You know, she's just a very, like, when I was with her, I felt drained a lot. I felt like my life was going nowhere, because I just felt like she was just sitting there doing nothing, taking and not giving back. And we kept talking about teamwork, and I said, hey, you want to be a team? How about you pitch in? How about you help me? You contribute as much as I do. And, you know, even when I paid her to edit videos, she quit. She quit after, she just stopped working after a while. I was paying her like $1,000 to edit bloopers. She'd edit 1 blooper a day, and she'd get $1,000 a month for that. But she didn't want to do that anymore. That job was too hard for her too, just like all her other jobs that she quit. So, I mean, that's the story, man. What are you going to do about if Shiloh fakes a pregnancy again? The last pregnancy wasn't fake. The doula that we went to, she said she actually showed us the ultrasound, and that the baby wasn't alive anymore. So, why do you think you have such a bad relationship with your subscribers, like rude people on Facebook posts? People on Facebook aren't necessarily subscribers, but I think it's because they are listening to the wrong people and aren't willing to hear the truth for what it is. What do you do if Shiloh wants to block female fans who seem to care a lot about you? Oh, were you blocked? Oh, no, that's, okay, I get what you're saying. Shiloh in the past has blocked people that she thinks are trying to pursue me, or that I'm close to, or whatever. This is actually a friend of mine who asked this question. She's wondering about, you know, Shiloh blocking her, or people that I'm friendly with. Shiloh is a very jealous person. She tends to be very jealous and insecure, which is, again, it's not something to hate her for. It's just something to, you know, realize everybody has their faults. But if she wants to start blocking people that are my friends, she's just going to have to deal, because I'm going to unblock them. And she's done things to, like, block people behind my back, and I find out, and I get upset, and that's why I never gave her access to my accounts or anything. It's just because she's just, she's her insecurities are something that she needs to discuss also. But no, I've always stood up for my female friends and so forth, because I know that I'm innocent in having those friendships. Like, if I'm in a relationship, I don't go after other people. Like, even in my marriage, I didn't pursue anyone until it was over. Like, once the marriage was over, Shiloh caught me as I fell. That was very lovely of her. Like, she was seriously there for me when I needed her most, because I was crying a lot and everything. So, I mean, that was just a beautiful thing for her to help me out. Why did I join the military in the first place? I joined because I believed in my country. I thought that we were the best country in the world, and we're really not. We are not the best country in the world, and we probably don't have the best group of people in the world either. Our crime rate's extremely high, and I mean, our politics are all screwed up and everything. I mean, that's kind of why I became conscious addictor, is because I saw all these nice people in all these other areas. And I'm seeing all these people screw each other over in the military, and I'm like, we're not better. So why am I fighting for us if we're not better? In the sense that there's all these innocent creatures or innocent people in all these other countries, and it's like, America has done a lot to rid the world of a lot of negativity, but at the same time, America is also negative. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Do you want to support that? Do you want to mindlessly have to follow orders that you don't agree with? I don't know, man. If you say it's true about your ex-wife and she stole from you and is robbing you, why don't you take this to court? because the agreement's already set. I already agreed to give her 90,000. There's really nothing I can do. While the original contract was, I mean, unless the lawyer wants to talk to me about, you know, alternate options, but I signed the agreement after the first agreement. Like, she broke the first agreement, but then I signed the second agreement because it was looking like, you know, she wasn't willing to keep to the agreement, considering she stole it and everything. And so because I signed that second agreement, I kind of waived my rights to the first agreement. So now all I can really do is complain about how I was betrayed. There's nothing I really can do. And even so, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just, this is more so about establishing that I was wronged and hoping that she'll own up to it, but she won't. So it's whatever. Like, she says, she claims that I emotionally cheated on her in the relationship. That's something that people will probably expect me to own up to. But there's nothing to own up to when you weren't emotionally cheating. Like, just because you talk to someone a lot doesn't mean you're in love with them. Okay, like, I've talked to plenty of people, I didn't fall in love with them. You know? I've had various female friends throughout my life. I don't fall in love with them. I don't have emotional affairs with them or anything like that. And of course, love isn't discussed till my last relationship is over. You shouldn't talk about loving a new person when you are in another relationship. So it's just one of her tactics to make it seem like everything's okay or on her side because, you know, she wants to believe that I emotionally cheated and everything. She actually told her family, like, she had her sister convinced that I cheated. And I was like, I actually called her sister and I said, listen, I never cheated. And I'm like, there's no way I could have cheated because the person that she says I cheated with was thousands of miles away from me. So how could I have possibly cheated? So, like, I ended the marriage while still in the home. Nobody new came in the home or anything like that. And I didn't have an emotional relationship or anything because no love was discussed. We were just friends. The only thing that changed was when I did leave her, Shiloh caught me and she supported me. Has Shiloh agreed to a prenup if when you get married? Yeah, she has. She's actually been very, very, very clear about that. Like, this is what my plan is for Shiloh. I want Shiloh to be a successful musician. I want her to pursue her dreams. And she talks about how I took her dreams away from her. And it's like, well, I mean, pick up by being with her. It's like, well, if you warned me that me being with you was going to take away your dreams, then I would have never been with you, girlfriend. But yeah, she's like, I've given everything to you. It's like, well, I would give it back if I could because I don't want to take it from you. Anyway, but my goal is in the long run to get Shiloh to singing again. 'Cause she's such a brilliant musician. And I want to sign a prenuptial agreement or some kind of contract that says if she and I marry and she becomes a super millionaire, that I get nothing. You know, like that she gets everything and I just have to pick my lousy ass up, you know, and go get a construction job or whatever if I'm not making a lot of income at the time, you know? Love and marriage, they're not about assets, and the fact that they include assets in these things is ridiculous. It's ridiculous because people end up hating each other. Like, for instance, if my ex-wife and we didn't have all this crap involved, like she didn't have anything to gain by pursuing me legally, as far as, you know, and she wasn't able to fight this contract that we originally signed, we would still be on good terms. We would still be friends. But that's what the divorce laws in this country do, is they make exes hate each other. Because one person realizes, oh my God, she's greedy. And the other person realizes, oh my God, he doesn't like getting stolen from. You know? That's what... And he's mad at me now. He's so angry at me now that I've stolen and cheated my way to this. So it's like, whatever. But yeah, we're agreeing to prenups because we want to be friends at the end of the marriage. I mean, if there is ever an end, which, I mean, I don't think there will be considering how much sync we work in and how we're going to see counseling and all that. Do you think you and Shiloh will last this time? Not a hater, just want to... I think we will. Because I'm taking measures to make sure we do. I really want this.